Okay friends, welcome to my very first crochet along. Yay, you made it, I made it, yay. I'm not sure how long these crochet along will start. The plan is to do a project from beginning to the end. So I've got this, I can do this, I can stay focused. All right, first of all, what you will need is a basic understanding of crochet and how to crochet. I will try and talk through the stitches as much as I possibly can, as most of them I feel like I've just made them up in my head or learned them when I was 10 and my grandma taught me, so I have no idea what they're actually really called, just what we made up. So you will be needing a 4.5mm hook. I don't know if you can see that. This is a clover hook. As you can tell, is she my favorite? If you want tighter or smaller stitches, that's fine. Just use a smaller one or bigger one. You do you, boo. This is art and we can do whatever we like. I am using bits and pieces of leftover yarn at the moment because I have lots of little bits and pieces like this, and I like to start my blankets with leftover yarn because it makes me feel like I'm wasting less things. So this is the color scheme I'm going with. No, I have no idea how many balls of yarn this will take. I've got no idea how many skins it will be. So basically, if you're here for it, we're here for the experience. So this is not one of those, you will need 15 balls, 15 skins of this. No, I don't know. I don't know how many balls we will need. Let's just start it and see how we go. Basically, I'm saying that if you're a long time crocheter, you should have random balls of random colors around your house everywhere anyway. If you're OCD like I am, you would have, made them into these lovely little cakes. If you're not, that's okay. You don't have to do that. If you don't have any wool, but you've just started crochet and you do know some simple stitches and you want to crochet along with me, that's okay too. Just go out and get some random colors. It's all right. So as you can see, I'm going with like a woodsy sort of themey color. I've been doing a lot of really bright colors lately, and I really just need to get away from those bright colors and do these lovely shades. So let's get started. So just to reiterate what we have, what you'll need a hook, you need wool, and you need to watch my videos. So basically that's it. And I'll be doing them in real time. Yeah, and I will talk crap as I go along because I always do. Because it's how I do, boo. So just unravel a little bit for yourself. Alrighty, we're going to start with a magic circle. A magic circle. So many different people have so many different ways of doing this magic circle. But basically, you just want 2 loops around your fingers. 1, 2. Oh, slowing this down. You're going to grab it underneath this one, over the top of that one. Twist. Pick up from behind. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da! And now we can move this circle however we want. So do you want me to show you that one again? I'll show you one more time, just in case you are not a magic circle person. If you've done a magic circle before, great, do that. If you can't do a magic circle and you don't know how, you can do a slip stitch and just slip stitch it into that, crochet into here. Okay, so I'll show you that magic circle again. 2 bits of thingy. You need a back tail over here going that way. We're going to go under the first one, over the top one, grab the top one, bend it, twist it, pick it up, pull it through, bend, twist, pick, pull. And I got too far away then. Let's try that again. Ta-da! I did end up pulling it through, but we'll try one more time and we'll do it up nice and close so you can see underneath my fingernails apparently. Bend it. Under, over, through, bend, twist, pick up, through. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da. Jeez, my fingernails look terrible right now. All right, we're going to go as small as we can, and we're going to do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be our first double crochet. And then we're going to go 11 more. So into that circle. So 1, which is actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to pull this string closed. Shunk. See, now I got like so tight, so tight. And we're going to slip stitch into the very top of that first chain 3. So the very top, so we have a nice square top through there. Through, can you see? Through this one. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, and then that's the very top one. And so I'm going to go through it. Camera, don't be silly. And we're going to, this is our tail, we're going to top it on top because I sew in my ends as I go. I crochet my ends in as I go. So as you can see, and now we have 12 beautiful little loopy-de-loops, crochet loops. Now, normally I go one color, then another color, then another color, then another color. But I think for this blanket, I'm going to switch it up a bit and I'm going to go 2 rows of one color and then change to another color. So I'm going to do, I've just now decided 2 rows of this light creamy color, then probably 2 rows of a dark color, and so on and so on and so on. But like I said, we'll just do as we do. So the next row is the second row, row 2, and we are not going to bother with the whole cutting it off and starting again. We're just going to make sure we hold that middle tail up as high as we can, and we're going to go through, not through this hole here, but we're going to go through the 2 back loops. It's a bit hard to see on a white, but see, this is a front loop. This is the very front loop here. We're not going through here. We're going to go through the back 2, which are back here. Okay, can you see them? 1, 2, straight backwards. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that. So a half double crochet for me is wrapping it around once, going through the 2 little loops, picking up 1 until you have 3, like you're going to do a double crochet, and then just pulling 1 through all the way through those. So 2 of those into there. 2 until we get a total of 24. So my style is very, I just do maths on the fly. I tend to work in rows of 3, stitches of 3 or 6. So as long as they're divisible by 2, we all good. So, and we're just working 2 along with my hair apparently. Good old camera. Oops, that didn't go anywhere. Get back here. Oh. Eh. Oh, you little sneaky bugger. There we go. Got there in the end. Alright. By the way, this is very difficult to crochet through camera. Alrighty. Another 2. Oi. Stop losing focus. I need to see. Another 2. So, basically my channel will be just this, guys. I have decided that I'm just going to do, for the first one, because it's our brand new first one, I decided to do 2. I'll do 2, so I'll do a part 1 and a part 2 for today. So this, because this, you know, has been taken up with so much of our time explaining what it is that we'll be doing. Unless you no doubt paused it, went and got all your own crochet stuff. So basically for this one you'll need probably 2 colors. I'm gonna try and get through 4 rows if we can. So as you can see, it's left this lovely bevelly line as we go around. So if you're concerned that you're going to keep going and you're going to join in that join there up the top, we can just count them. So 1, we're counting these little holes here. There should be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ta-da! That's going to be 12. Alrighty. So because TikTok only lets me do 10-minute videos at a time, I need to hurry up this round. No! Okay. I've only got 30 seconds left. 11 and one more. Is she gonna make it, ladies and gentlemen? No! I would have, had it not been for that tight stitch. It's okay, sometimes the stitches are too tight. 1 and 2. I made it! Yay, made it! Woohoo! Well, I almost made it. Alright, I'll go. Okay. So we will just count these again, making sure that we have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to pop this top stitch into the front of this stitch, the first of our double crochets, our half double crochets, and we're going to pop it through into a slip stitch. And then if you have a look on the back, you'll see now all we've got is that loop again. And what we're going to do is when we go to the next round, we're going to carry that middle loop, pulling it tight, we're going to carry that middle loop to the next row. So basically when I make blankets, I crochet in the stitches as I go, so we don't have all those ugly tails hanging out on the end, and we don't have to stress too much about cutting them off. And I just carry them between each layer. Now for the darker layers, I try and carry them underneath that first layer of the darker layers, but you'll see that as I go on. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this nice and long, taking my trusty scissors, chop. Yes, they're trusty scissors. And we're going to make sure we have the right tail, which is this one. And we're going to flip it through. So I'm just going to grab it, pinch it, grab it, and pull. And then if you don't want your tail that long, that's fine. You can just chop it shorter. I like them around about the same length because, like I said, we're going to crochet, the next round in. I just have OCD, so I'm OCD about strangest, weirdest things. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is still a pretty flat, and I like to do some nice little bubbly things. So we're going to do a increase stitch next, and I think I'm going to use this lovely, I mean, the camera does do it justice. It's nice and soft. It's so soft. It's so soft. I used to have a crochet bowl. I don't anymore. I just yeet it on the floor. I just go yeet onto the floor. And I'm in my office, so the floor's clean. Trust me, I have OCD. The floor's lovely and clean. Oofy daisies. And in the end, it just smells like detergent, like my floor cleaner. We're going to start in any top stitch hole that you want. So I'm going to start here. Actually, I'm going to start just before the join in here. This just means that when you have a full blanket, when it's done later, you won't be able to tell where you've started and where you've finished. If you continually start in the same spot every time, you'll be able to tell with your finished product. So, you know, we're human, we make mistakes. So that's what we do. So this first part is obviously going to be a circle, and we're going to move from a circle to a square. And then we're going to move from a square probably to a hexagon, because it's usually what I do. But like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I just wing it as I go. So that's great. All right, so here we go. This stitch, I'm going to do I'm going to do an extended cluster. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3. Then I'm going to skip 1, and into the next one, I'm going to do a 5, 4, 5. Again, this is what happens. So it's a chain 5, skip 1, and then into the next one, we're going to do a cluster stitch. So I'm going to wrap around through the hole, pick up 1, that's once. We're going to do that 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and once more, 5. And then I'm going to pull all the way through all of those stitches till we got 2 on here. Then we're going to pull another one in, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then we're going to skip 1, and in the next one we're going to do our first double crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2, skip 1, and do a cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And chain 2, 1, 2. And so you'll see you'll end up having all the way around until we are done. You're going to have a chain or a crochet. So we're going to have a double crochet, a cluster, a double crochet, a cluster, a double crochet, a cluster. So you're skipping 1, double crocheting, clustering, and skipping another one. Give me a second, my husband is his coffee because he's delicious and I love him. And I'm back and I have a caramel soy coffee. Delicious. Okay, where was I? Sorry, I got distracted. So yes, skipping one, and then we're going to do a double crochet into that one. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then a cluster of 5. So skipping one into the next one, a cluster of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull through. So you have the 2 on there. Pick up 1, pull through that. Chain 2, 1, 2. Skip a stitch into this stitch. We're going to go and do that crochet again. So I'm going to finish this. Chain 2, 1, 2. And then I'll pause, finish it, and come back because I'm going to try and get at least two stitches around this. And we'll try and do it that way. Let me know if you guys think that's a bit too disjointed or whatever. If I'm giving too much instruction, not enough instruction, let me know in the comments, please. So basically, you're doing a chain of 5 because what we're going to do is when we finish, when we come all the way back around here, we're going to join into the very, very top. But I'll pause, finish this, and get to that step so you've got it. So basically a chain 5, skipping a stitch, a cluster, skip a stitch, chain 2, double crochet, skip a stitch, chain 2, cluster, and so on, all the way until you get to this point over here. So I'm going to pause this and come back. Okay, so as you can see, I'm at the end now. Wow, that was magic. Now, as you can also see, it's starting to bend up a little bit. Do not be stressed about that because we are actually going to go over the chains in a minute into this row in here. So I've done this stitch before. It's like a 2-part stitch where I go around and then I come back through. I don't really like too much of a gappy situation happening, so I try and do really tight stitches. So chain 2, 1, 2 after that last puff. And we're going to go 3 up, so 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into this stitch here to do a slip stitch. Oof. 1, 2, 3. This is the thing about really silky wool. Slip stitch into there. We need both, pick up both of the stitches. There we go. Pull through, and we're going to tie that off because I actually decided you're not going to see the color unless you pick a different color. So I'm going to tie that off. And as you can see here, we have our first 3 rows. So, a cluster of 12 double crochets, a cluster of backward stitches in the previous video, and then this round is this one, and then the next one, I'm going to quickly pause and get through it. So we have at least 4 rows for our very first video cluster. Alrighty, I've chosen this lovely green to be next. Shunk. Onto the floor, and we're going to just randomly find, see how our things are tied in nicely. Don't stress about those, we'll cut them off later, it's all good. So we're going to find a random spot, a random one of these stitches, probably that one. We'll just go in there, shunk, and we're going to tie off. So we're actually working on the row previous to this row. So I'm just going to quickly, hopefully, trying to rush this. Alrighty. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're going to connect into this top stitch again, and we're going to go back into that stitch with a double crochet. So this is called a double crochet cluster. So we're going to do one of those. I want to do a half double crochet into the top of the previous round's double crochet. Ta-da! Then into the next one, we're going to do, so not this, working over the top of the chain. So I'm working over the top of the chain. I'm going to go 1 and 2. It's an increase. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. That was a mistake. Down, 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 down. So we're doing a cluster. So we're not finishing off our double crochet. So we're going to go once. And then we're going to go again. And that's a cluster. Okay, look, I know I said I was only going to do one 10-minute video a day, but I really wanted to get these 4 rows done. So this, unfortunately, is the 3rd video for today. And I think that's to be expected when we're just starting out something new. So let me know how this format goes, what you think, any ideas on what we can do to change it. So we're just going to lay the tail from so 1, 2, 3 from the third row along the chain basically. Alrighty, so if you just watched part 2, this is part 3. So we're working with a double crochet cluster, a half double crochet into the top of the double crochet from the previous round, then a double crochet cluster into the second row from that missed stitch from the previous round, this little white one down here, and then we're going to do a forward post half double crochet around this extended like puffy stitch to sort of make it pop out. So how we do that is we wrap it around, we go through the back part here, see, just under there, right, and then we pick up the stitch over the top. So we have all 3, 1, 2, 3, and we pull through all 3. Don't stress, I'm going to do it again, you won't have to worry about it. So, and as you can see on the front, it makes it stand out all puffy like, but on the back, it has this really pretty, like, it's pretty on the back as well. So then we're going to, don't chain, we're going to go in through here, the stitch from row 2, the missing stitch from row 2, and we're going to pick it up. We're going to do 1 and then 2. We should have 3 stitches on here, 1, 2, 3, and that will be your double crochet together. Ta-da! Then we're going to go half double into the top of the double crochet from the third round. Another half double, another cluster of double crochets into this stitch here. 1, and then 2, and then again, see, you should have 3 on there, pulling through, and then we're going to do that bubble stitch again. So what I'm going to do is I like to like create my own little space, and we're also picking up this chain, so just hold that down. We're going to go through, wrapping around once, behind the puff, through the top. Wrap around again, pulling through until you have all 3, 1, 2, 3, wrap around and then pull through. And that's a half double crochet front post puff. Oh, that was a lot to say, wasn't it? Which is the reason why I don't do things. And as you can see, it's starting to get flat. See how it was getting all round before and it was getting all worrisome? Don't worry, it starts to flatten itself out. It's because of that extended stitch. So what we're going to do now is in the missing stitch down here, and it might be a little bit tight because it's the beginning stitch from that round. So 1 and 2, all 3, half double crochet into the top, and then we've got our cluster, all 3, and then we're going to go top of this stitch again, remember, so wrap around once, through the top, picking it up, pull through, 1, 2, 3. It's okay, it just dropped off, it's all right. Pick it up, 1, 2, 3, and then through that, ta-da! And then our crochet together, top half double crochet into the top of that double crochet from the other round, and see how I missed it? See how I missed it? It's okay. We want to go a little bit lower because otherwise it'll make a weird shape. We want to get both stitches. It's better. Yeah, some of you probably didn't even notice the difference, but I do, and you will later. So we're going to go through the missing stitch again. And we're going to go through that one, over the top, puff it out, ta-da! And that is your, and then one in here. See how it's starting to get flatter? Ta-da! Yeah, ta-da! All right, I'm just going to keep going, guys, because I feel like this is helpful. You can flatten down those white stringy bits from last time. And don't worry, I'll show you the back before I go. And then we've got another puff. So behind, up the top. Look, I'm trying to do this as slowly as possible because normally I just wing it and just do what I want. So this is difficult. And then through the top bit there. See, that's got 2 stitches. That's what I meant before. I dropped one and I only had the one. We want both. There we go. Last lot of doubles through that. And we're going to do our last one, which is going to be on top here, through the top. There we go, like that. And then, remember how that one was a chain 3? So we're going to go in the very, very top one of that one and we're going to slip stitch it. Ta-da! And as you can see, it's starting to get flatter. So that is the first 4 rows. Da, ba, 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 ba. And that's the front, and that is the back. As you can see, all of the ends are nice and tied in. Don't stress about that one because we just chop it later. It's no big deal. And if you're really worried about it, you can just pull it up for the next round and thread through, because I'm just going to stay on this green for this round. So I'm going to go two rows of one color, 1 row, 2 rows, and then I'm just going to wing it as I go and see. So if I had done the same color, it wouldn't have popped as much. So they're our first 3 tutorials, and I really hope this really works for you guys. Let me know in the comments. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Do you like this format? Do you not like this format? Anyway, bye. See you later. Dun, dun, dun.